What's up, guys? Mr. Surplus Nut here, bringing another part to this videos on archery and bow hunting. We cover all the different parts on the case for the bow, the different components that you can add to it, and also the release. So now I want to talk about the quiver, which quiver you want to go ahead and add to your bow. It depends what route you want to go, how expensive you want to go, what you're looking to do. If you're looking to just do archery target shooting, or you actually want to do some hunting, it all depends. Okay, it all depends what you're looking to do. Some quivers, you have the option that you can mount it on the bow, okay, and some of them, the cheaper ones, are completely permanent to the base, meaning that you cannot take it apart from the bow. Once it goes there, it stays there. So if you are not comfortable shooting with all your arrows on the quiver because of the weight of the bow, then you're forced to take the arrows out to line up the scenario. Most middle class quiver, most likely you'll be able to disconnect it from your bow. You have your little base still on the bow, and you're not gonna have a problem. This one is not very expensive. Again, you can get into some of the high-end or very expensive quivers, which I don't see the reason why you have to do that to get something decent. Anywhere I've seen, like the Octane, they're really nice. $99, $100, maybe $120. For this one, I think it was like $30. Okay, the brand is Alpine. Now the only thing that came camel was the head of the quiver, so the whole stick thing was black. I didn't want to have a lot of black stuff on my bow. So again, like I was explaining to you guys earlier on my bow, I did my own camel job with the net that I used and different type of colors from Krylon camouflage paint, and painted it just to blend it into my next G1 camel pattern on my bow. I went ahead and went with a quick release quiver. This one, I want you guys to know, they have the type that has the foam inside and the one that's completely open inside, and your tips are just basically there. I don't like that one. I like to buy the one with the foam inside, that once you decide on what hunting tips to go with, it'll get the shape of whether it's a three blade or 4 blade or the Rage type. The little foam will get the shape of that, and a lot of times I keep the tips of my my arrows lubricated with oil, either oil or Kroil, something that will keep the corrosion away from the blade, so they stay nice and sharp. Okay, so they stay nice and sharp, and we'll talk about that a little later. Okay, now the quiver, it's something that you want to be able to practice with the quiver on your bow all the time. This is how I do it. I actually practice shooting my bow with the quiver on my bow, and since I use the Rage hunting blades, the one that mechanically open, the 2 blade type, they only come in a pack of 3, and they give you like a practice one. So what I do is I keep my 3 arrows with those blades on the quiver, and since this is a 5 arrow quiver, I keep 2 practice arrows on there, a total of 5, and I shoot from this thing here my other practice arrows which I try to keep like another dozen or close to it, okay, I shoot my practice arrows while I have my quiver with all 5 arrows, including my hunting arrows, on the quiver all the time. Why? I'll tell you why. Because you want to be able to get used to the weight of your bow every time you shoot with the quiver on and the arrows on the quiver. For whatever reason, you need to practice both ways. You gotta be able to get used to shooting without the quiver on the bow like I have it now, or with the quiver on. This quiver right here, it's got the like I'm saying, the quick release. You put it on. There we go. That's how it looks. See how nice that looks? Really nice. Okay, so I shoot my bow with my quiver on and all my arrows. Yes, it adds weight to it, but you know what? I want to make sure. Some guys go hunting and they get the quiver. They even have some that have like a magnet or something that you can. They have like something else. You hook it to the tree. You're always hunting out of that tree, like a hook where you might even hang your arrow, and it's got some type of magnet there that you can actually magnetize to that your quiver, or they have a hook that you can hook your quiver to. But if you need a follow-up shot and you gotta be getting the, you don't want to get your arrow out of your quiver. Let's say you drop from the tree, you quiver out down with it. So I like to keep it all in my bow. Yes, I'm used to shooting with this weight. That's why you gotta start from the get-go with a bow that's lightweight, compact, lightweight bow. So when you add, remember, when you add all the components, plus the quiver, the arrows, that's gonna be your ultimate final weight of your shooting setup, your hunting bow or practice bow. Okay? The longer the limb saver stabilizer, that's gonna add weight. The more sophisticated sight you have, okay, the more weight it's gonna have. Add to your bow. All the different things, what type of arrow rest do you use? All that stuff is gonna add weight to your bow. So that's why from the get-go I wanted to go with a lightweight, compact bow. You know, the taller the bow, 32 inches from axle to axle. Once you put, you know, you're a bigger guy, obviously you're gonna need longer arrows. Your quiver now is gonna be like freaking 4 feet. All that stuff, once you start mounting all that stuff on, it's just gonna add weight. You know, try trailing hogs and game with that. You know, it's gonna take a plate on your hunting scenario. Okay, so yes, I keep my 3 hunting arrows with the hunting blades on it, Rage. My other 2 practice arrows, which makes a total of 5 arrows. It's a 5 arrow quiver. I keep it on my bow like this, like you guys see it. And when I shoot, you guys are gonna see me shooting it. Most of the times, I'm shooting just the way my bow is set up to be. Because when I'm on a tree, wherever I'm hunting, I got my quiver on, baby. I gotta shoot. Most of the time, it's a one-shot deal, especially if it's a pass-through. The deer runs away, you gotta look for a blood trail. Okay, sometimes you might spine the deer or the animal. You spine him, and he'll fall on the ground, freaking in convulsions. You know, because you hit him right in the spine and the vertebrae or a nerve or something, and you really need a quick follow-up shot to do a humane kill. You're gonna have to go and pull that other arrow right away. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be nervous. You're gonna be, you know, and especially if you have buck fever, forget it. You're gonna go to that tree where you have that quiver hung up on the thing, and you might drop the whole thing. You're out of arrows. Right here, I'm right on. Something happens, boom, pull an arrow, you're on business. So, a good technique and a good advice that I want to give you guys: learn how to shoot with your quiver on, full of arrows, and without the quiver, the bow by yourself. Get used to both weights. Preferably, I recommend to shoot mostly with your quiver on and with all the arrows on there. Okay, if you get used to it, once you get used to it, it's like if you have the bow by itself. All right, now, do you need a quiver that holds 10 arrows? No, you don't. I think even a quiver that holds 3 arrows is more than enough. Most likely, what, a follow-up shot, you're probably gonna need 1 or 2 arrows the most. Maybe 3 if there's a doe coming, or you're planning to stay hunting on the tree. You know, maybe you go, there's places that they allow you to kill 2 bugs, 2 does, and you just want to stay there. And yeah, you know, you might want, that's why I went with one that has 5. You know, it's a medium range. You know, 5 arrows, that's plenty. I mean, it's not a 10 arrow quiver, but it's a 5, half, and you know, I'm pretty much in between. You know, and also the weight. An 8 arrow quiver, 10 arrow quiver, dude, that's gonna add a lot of weight. Okay, people don't realize that when they buy their quiver. See, buying a bow is not just going, oh my god, I like that one, it's so pretty, I want to get it, I love the camel job, you know, and you're buying a bow that weighs already from the get-go plain a lot. You go buy a sight. People don't realize this. Oh my god, this sight, it's so long, it's got a big old aperture, and it's got freaking 8 pins, and you know, they start adding that on. Oh my god, the quiver, a 9 arrow quiver. Oh my god, a double head quiver, 1 for 5 arrows on top, 5 for the bottom. My god, I'm gonna go hunting in Africa, I'm gonna need freaking a dozen of arrows that I'm buying, I gotta take them off. You start putting all that stuff on. Your sight, your arrow drop, your arrow rest, all this stuff. A bunch of freaking vibration dampening upgrades. Oh, this and that. When they come to lift up the bow, oh my god, this thing, they're shooting it at home, 5 minutes, I gotta set it down. Honey, bring me a glass of water. Give me some iced tea. Listen, that ain't gonna cut it. Keep in mind all that. It's just like hunting. What are you gonna use the equipment for? You need a really heavy rifle. The bigger the scope, the more power, more mechanism inside the scope, the more heavy. Overall weight, what's it gonna be? What are you gonna use it for? What kind of hunting you're gonna do? What kind of shooting you're gonna do? These are things that we have to keep in mind in whatever sport, hobby, whatever we do. Okay? Because ultimately, that's how you're gonna come out on top. Okay? Alright, so when we come back, we're going to talk about the arrows, and then I think from there on we can probably go and do some shooting. Check you guys out, Mr. Surplus Nut.